You're listening to the brand new, rebranded Mindset, Metabolism, and Movement podcast, where we help you achieve a realistic and human approach to health and fitness by working with your body, not against it. My name is Jenna Altman, and my mission is to help you, the active woman, feel confident in your ability to make choices that allow you to take control of your health and fitness. In today's episode, we're going to dive into how your mindset, metabolism, and movement are the three pillars you need to feel confident and happy in your fitness progress without having to lose weight. In this episode, I'm going to teach you our signature M3 method that we use in our coaching program to help hundreds of women stop falling off the wagon, restore their metabolisms, and incorporate movement that feels good to them so that you can actually do the same. Do any of these sound familiar to you? When I make a mistake, I figure, why even bother? I feel like my metabolism is so slow. I'm working so hard, but not seeing any results. If so, keep listening. We'll dive into how you can start feeling more confident today. What are some easy ways you can work on improving your mindset, metabolism, and movement that actually work for you? And what it looks like to make decisions in regards to health and fitness that also feel good to you. Let's dive in. I used to believe that all that mattered in health and fitness was working out and eating clean. I was wholeheartedly convinced that those were the only things that mattered when it came to my goal of being as skinny as possible. I don't know about you, but I definitely heard lots of messages like eat less, move more, and go big or go home. My health and fitness journey always felt like such a chore to me, something that I had to do in order to stay skinny, to eat what I wanted, and to actually be pretty. I thought that weight loss was the answer to the missing confidence that I was desperately searching for years. After years of trial and error, tons of money invested in education and certifications, and coaching hundreds of women, I started to realize that health and fitness is so much more than that, as is confidence. We are complex human beings, and our bodies and minds are constantly doing so much for us. When we can come to appreciate that, we can actually start to work with our bodies and finally feel confident in them, which translates into more confidence in every aspect of your life. I wanted to talk a little bit about this name change that you see in terms of the podcast. If this is the first episode that you're listening to, then this is completely irrelevant for you. But if you have been listening to my podcast, which was originally the Lifestyle You podcast, it just felt like it was a little too vague. I felt like listeners maybe didn't know exactly what to expect or what kind of transformation they were going to achieve by listening to this podcast. And so when people land on this podcast moving forward, I want them to know that they will be learning about mindset, metabolism, and movement and how they can be successful in their health and fitness journeys. So I want to dive into our M3 method. This is our signature coaching method that we utilize at Harvest Coaching with our one-on-one clients and our group programs as well. And so these are going to make up the three pillars to feeling confident and happy in your fitness progress without having to lose weight. And I'm really excited to dive into each of those now. So first, we're going to start with number one, mindset. The key and often overlooked component to your transformation is the lens through which you see the world. This is how you make sense of things. This is how you assign meaning to things. And this is truly, really how we make it through any aspect of life. In terms of your health and fitness, this can often look like those all or nothing struggles. When I say that, those are kind of those obstacles that you keep running into and you're not sure why you keep falling off the wagon or continue to struggle through the same thing over and over again. This can also look like the F it mentality where you're eating healthy Monday through Thursday, then the weekend comes around and you're like, well, F it, doesn't matter now. Or it can be preoccupations that you have around food, exercise in your body, right? Just not really understanding the greater picture of health and fitness and very, very focused on what am I eating today? And when am I getting my workout in? And does my body look okay at this angle, right? Like all these sort of minutia worries that just kind of flood our vision of our health and fitness. And it's really important to mention this before we even get into the nitty-gritty of mindset is that this work does not happen overnight. We're going to talk about some of these things. We're going to start planting some seeds. And ideally, these seeds will grow over time. But when we talk about them today, please don't expect an overnight transformation in terms of your mindset. Your mindset is made up of 20 plus years of absorbing messages from our families, from diet culture, from society, from the media. And so, of course, it's going to take some time to undo all this damage that's been done. And there are still good aspects of our mindset. I don't want you to think that your entire mindset is slighted and in a negative light. Of course, there are great things that we're going to carry over into our health and fitness in terms of our mindset. But I want you to know that your brain is actually capable of making these changes. So it's really important to be patient with yourself and remember that your brain is actually capable of creating new thoughts and neural pathways for these thoughts. And so we're literally training our brains to form these new thoughts. So if you go in with that perspective, when we think about the struggles that you might be facing in terms of all or nothing thinking, or maybe you're struggling with body image and confidence, here's going to be the first step that you're going to need to make in order to start moving towards more of a positive mindset. And this is going to be creating more awareness. That's literally all I want you to do, is to identify the thoughts that are currently coming up for you and be able to soak them in, understand where they're coming from, sit with those thoughts. They might be uncomfortable, but this is going to allow you to identify where those beliefs are coming from, where those thoughts are coming from. Are they even thoughts that belong to you? Are they even thoughts that are true for you? A lot of the time we absorb these thoughts from other people or from our families or from society when they're not even really truly how we feel. And so this is where creating awareness is going to be really important, because we are going to start to sync those thoughts with our identity, with our values and our priorities. Do they actually match up with what we envision for our health and fitness? And I know that this is a lot to unpack. It probably sounds a little bit overwhelming. So this is why we say it's going to take time. But the more awareness that you create, the more time that you spend in this sticky situation, the more changes that you'll be able to implement down the road. And I want to share a really important story of one of our clients that we've worked with. Her name is Margos. She's awesome. And she really made some of the biggest changes in terms of her mindset that I've ever seen. And when we first started working together, she was so hyper-focused on losing weight, as is most clients that come to us or anybody embarking on a health and fitness journey. And we did all the things that we needed to do before making our way to a caloric deficit to lose body fat. And when we got there, Margos actually decided and said to me, I don't want you to be disappointed, but actually, I don't think I want to go through losing body fat. She was like, I'm really enjoying all of the PRs that I'm hitting. I'm really loving how I'm feeling. I'm loving my athletic performance that's increasing in the gym. I'm able to do all these new lifts. And she decided that she was just happy with where she was at, and she did not want to continue pursuing weight loss. And it's okay if you want to continue pursuing fat loss or weight loss beyond there, but being able to make that decision and have that freedom in that decision that your health and fitness is so much more than just weight loss is absolutely the key to confidence that we are looking for. So Margos' story is just one really great example of how we are able to do that today. Okay, diving into the next pillar, metabolism. So your unique physiology as a woman is a beautiful gift, and it should be used to your advantage. I think sometimes as women, we get really discouraged, right? We have maybe a male partner or male friends who are able to pursue weight loss a lot quicker. It seems that their results come a lot faster. And a lot of the time that's because we just are a little bit more complex of beings, and our bodies do all these amazing processes for us as women. And so we should celebrate that and not be so bogged down by the fact that our progress might move a little slower or it might look a little bit different. That doesn't mean that we can't still make progress. So for too long, I feel like a lot of us have received these messages as women that we should be eating 1,200 calories or doing cardio 6 days a week, even if you hate it. And unfortunately, this can actually lead to metabolic adaptation. And this is where your body adjusts to this new normal of 1,200 calories, which makes it really difficult for you to lose weight despite being in what you think is a caloric deficit. Okay? But I do have some good news. You can actually start to restore your metabolism through reverse dieting. And this is a process where you slowly and gradually add more food into your diet to reach your maintenance calories. Your maintenance calories are what your body needs in order to maintain the current weight that you're at. And I know you might be saying like, well, I don't like the current weight that I'm at, but we need to get to a place where we are metabolically healthy before we can visit a caloric deficit that's actually going to be successful. So if you are somebody who has lost the weight before, you've been in a diet, you've cut your carbs, you've cut your calories, and you've seen that weight loss come off. But what happens as soon as you start to eat like a normal person again? When you start to incorporate carbs, when you start to eat brunch out with friends, when you start to enjoy yourself and bring some of those foods back in, you gain the weight right back, right? And so this is why it's so important that we are removing that obstacle and that yo-yo cycle and doing this the right way. And the right way and the safe way for your body is going through the reverse diet process first. And so how does this work in terms of losing fat if this is your ultimate goal? So let's just start with this. A lot of our clients come to us and 95% of them come in with the goal of losing weight. But also 95% of them, if not 100%, actually need to go through a reverse diet process first. And to be honest with you, probably about 75% of these clients are extremely weary and nervous about going into a reverse diet. Why would I eat more food if I'm trying to lose weight? Until they start to see the impacts of eating enough food for their bodies. And this often looks like more energy. They're stronger. They're recovering faster and able to put more back into their sessions at the gym. They're adding carbs back in, not taking foods away. They're seeing what foods they can add to their diet. And they're actually enjoying food again without feeling guilty about it. So when you start to eat enough food for your body, this lets the body know that it's actually safe. When your body feels safe, we start working together and with it, not against it. So if you've been struggling with losing the last same 5 to 10 pounds, it might be a good time to check in and see how you're eating and compare that to how much your body actually needs. If you're not eating enough, this is where you can actually utilize the reverse diet approach that we talked about already. And I want to share with you another client story. This is Jackie. She came to me and she was feeling extremely exhausted. She had a really, really demanding job that she was constantly on her feet, basically giving a ton to this job, working long hours, long shifts. And she also felt like her workout routine and her healthy eating routine were another chore on top of that. And so prior to working together, Jackie had constantly tried to resolve these issues for herself in terms of, losing weight and trying to find a healthier relationship with her body and find more confidence. She was doing things like dieting, Whole30, cutting out carbs, or even entire food groups, which I know is probably familiar for you too. But she realized that none of that was ever sustainable, so she can never stick with it. So when Jackie came to me, we really prioritized what is sustainable for you. We focused on incorporating 30 to 35-minute workouts, things that were easy for her to implement at the end of her workday or even before she goes to work, so she actually had energy to do that workout. We also used a reverse diet strategy where we added food back into her diet, and this allowed her to improve her body composition, which meant that she got more toned. She also increased her energy and strength, which then led for more productive workouts and energy for those workouts. And she improved digestion and was able to regulate her hunger cues as a result of this work. What's really fascinating is that Jackie actually came into me. She was originally eating 1,200 calories. And by the time she was ready to graduate our program, she was up to almost 2,000 calories a day. So why I bring this up is because now Jackie is able to actually go on vacation, not worry about sabotaging her progress. She has more strength and is lifting more weight than ever. She can enjoy all of her favorite foods again, guilt-free. She also makes decisions based on how they make her feel, not necessarily because she needs to eat in a certain way or move her body X times per week. So this is a really powerful story because I think that it illustrates the impact that your metabolism can have on your overall health and well-being and confidence in your body. And so I hope that you're able to identify really where you're at in terms of eating enough food for your body. If you're not quite there yet, can we get there in a reverse diet approach or in a slow, gradual addition of food over time? And if you are someone who maybe is eating an excess of food, maybe you are ready for a diet strategy, but we need to be mitigating stress from other areas of our life in order to be successful throughout a diet phase. All right, the last component of our M3 method is going to be movement. So too often I see women doing workouts that they don't actually enjoy only because they think that it will get them results. So just naming a couple. There are definitely people who enjoy these types of workouts, and I have no shame against them. I also enjoy them too, but I just don't use them as my main form of my workout. And this brings me to a really good story. When I was in sophomore year of college, I was really on a big running kick, and I was obsessed with Pinterest workouts. So I would look for treadmill workouts. And I remember this one that I dreaded, but I did it like at least twice a week. And it was like minutes 0 to 5. You're at like a 7.0. And then it gradually increases up to like 10.0 miles per hour on the treadmill. And it's just this absolute burden and terrible workout that I would leave feeling like I got trashed by this workout. And it's really sad to me to think of movement as something that is not enjoyable, as something that was torture for me, or something that I needed to do in order to burn off the extra cookies that I had the night before, or I would feel guilty if I didn't run more than 4 miles. If I didn't hit 5 or 6 miles, then what was even the point of running? And I tell that story because I think so many of us have these similar experiences in relationships with movement. And to be honest with you, I really do believe in any form of movement. If you are moving your body, I'm extremely happy about that. And I'd rather you move your body than not move your body at all. But there are still better ways to move our body. And so one of the things that we love to incorporate with our clients at Harvest Coaching is strength training. And that doesn't mean that we don't love when clients do other things. Of course, we want you to incorporate all the things that you love in terms of movement. So we do prioritize that as well. But this is just going to be your best bet when it comes to living a healthy lifestyle, especially for the rest of your life, for longevity purposes. So when we prioritize strength training, this is because it allows us to build muscle mass, and that allows you to look toned, which I know is a big goal for a lot of listeners on this podcast. It also allows you to increase your metabolism, to improve your longevity, and also increase your confidence. And so strength training for me has been the number one contributor to my own transformation, both physically and mentally. And the relationship that I have with myself and the confidence that I have today. What's really cool about it is that we can just challenge ourselves with heavier weights, move with controlled form, proving to yourself that you can do hard things. Like that creates resilience. And of course, my absolute favorite outcome of lifting heavy weights has been my growth in confidence. And this also translates into every other aspect of my life. And I don't think that I would be a business owner today, or have this podcast today, or be in front of you all today if it was not for strength training. That's how much I believe in the power of this exercise. And to kind of put a little context to it, in a 2002 research study, there were 49 college women who participated in a strength training program. It was twice a week for 12 weeks, and the outcomes that they reported are just absolutely phenomenal. So 97.5% reported feeling healthier and more fit. They used phrases like toned, stronger, more fit, in shape, more energy, and healthier. 51% reported improvements in their perception of their body image. 51%. 85% reported an improved attitude towards themselves. They felt more confident, they felt happy, they felt better, had higher self-esteem, more in control and less stressed, and at ease with themselves. What's really fascinating about this research study is actually that the study did not report substantial changes in the participants' weights, body fat percentages, or measurements. This was all just from the confidence aspect and how much power strength training can have over your health and well-being. So due to the impact that strength training has had both on my life and just tons of women that I've worked with, as well as the research out there, it's one of the main vehicles that we use for transformation at Harvest Coaching. But it's also not just about your workout. It's what you do in your other 23 hours of your day. Are you sitting on your butt after your workout? Guilty of that today so far, but that's not going to continue. I will get up and move here shortly, but this is really where we can evaluate, are we actually moving our bodies enough? We were designed to move, to get up, to sit, to stand, to walk, to run, to do all of these activities. And unfortunately, the society that we live in now has us seated a lot, or maybe you're even standing a lot. That's not great for your body either, right? Our body needs to kind of move through all of these different things. And so this is why I ask you, right? What are you doing with the other 23 hours of your day? Because it's not just that workout. So I want you guys to evaluate, take a peek at what your current workout schedule looks like. And maybe there is a little bit of space that you can put in terms of including some walks or maybe some more rest days. Maybe that's what you really need. And maybe we're doing too much high intensity workouts. Maybe we need to tone it back a little bit. So I want you to evaluate what your current workout schedule looks like and start to really just plant these seeds and see what comes up for you in terms of, what my workout schedule actually looks like. And is it working for me? That's a really important question. So to sum everything up, I want to take just a quick minute to give you a little overview of the things that we talked about today. So you were able to meet our M3 method, which is mindset, metabolism, and movement. So if you are struggling with any of these three things, I want you to put into application some of these things that we talked about. So when we think about mindset, right, we're going to start evaluating and creating more awareness around the current beliefs that we have and are they serving us? If you are struggling with your metabolism, we're going to evaluate where are we at in terms of eating enough food for our bodies. Is there something that we need to do in order to eat more food? Is there something that we need to pay attention to in terms of maybe how foods make us feel? And is that a food that's serving us? Also, last one, movement. What are you doing with the extra 23 hours in your day? What does your movement schedule look like right now? Do we need to incorporate maybe some more strength training? Do we need to pull back on cardio? Okay. So those are the things I want you to evaluate from today's episode. And I am excited to hear how this goes for you. If you found this episode helpful, I want to invite you into an exciting opportunity that we have at Harvest Coaching. If you've been living off of 1,200 to 1,600 calories or less because you thought that's what you needed to lose weight, if you consider yourself a healthy eater but aren't sure if you're eating enough or the right foods for your body, if you want to learn how to work with your body and not against it, if you want to improve your relationship with food and incorporate foods you love without feeling guilty, then our signature one-on-one coaching program, M3, Mindset, Metabolism, and Movement, is for you. This is a fitness, nutrition, and lifestyle program that's designed to help you let go of all or nothing thinking, optimize your metabolic health, and gain more confidence. This program is right for you if your workouts leave you feeling drained, you're tired of wasting mental headspace thinking about food, and are overwhelmed by the abundance of contradicting advice. And you finally want to feel more confident in your body and the choices that you make in regards to your health and fitness. Then now is the time to apply to our signature M3 one-on-one coaching program. This is a no strings attached process, and all you have to do is apply. Even if you decide that it's not a good fit for you after our call, there will be no hard feelings at all. You'll at least get some guidance on what you can be working on from your health and fitness professional bestie. To celebrate all of this goodness, now through November 5th, we're offering you 1 free month of nutrition coaching with the purchase of a coaching package so you can get started on your 2023 goals today. But act fast because there are only 8 spots available. The link to apply is in the show notes. Thank you for listening to the Lifestyle You podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a 5-star rating and review to help others discover the magic we're creating together. If there's someone in your life who could benefit from listening to this episode, be sure to forward it along to them. You can also follow me on Instagram at Jenna Ray Altman for more helpful content, resources, and good vibes. As always, thank you so much for being here.